Ciao tutti, va bene? Tutto a posto? Allora, cominciamo. Allora, oggi spero di spiegare il tempo condizionale. So in this clip, I'm going to give you a brief explanation of the conditional tense. Now, you've done a few tenses with me already. We've looked at the passato prossimo, the past tense. We've done a little bit of work on the future tense, and today I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the conditional tense. First of all, what is the conditional tense? Well, in English, that corresponds to what would happen. So, for an example, in English, if the pub was open, I would go. Or if possible, I would go to Italy tomorrow. So this conditional tense depends on other circumstances. So for example, if possible, I would go to Italy tomorrow. That condition relies upon aeroplanes flying. If it was open, I would go to the pub. The condition is, of course, the pub being open. So on the board behind me, I'm going to show you how you express would in Italian. Right, to start off with, remember that Italian has three main verb groups. You have got ERE verbs, such as this one, parlare, to speak. Now, what I'm writing on the board at the moment, that's my infinitive. Remember, an infinitive is an unchanged verb. At the moment, parlare means to speak, okay? And I'm going to have to change that to something else to make it conditional. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change that A to an E, okay? And then I'm going to remove the last E. So I'm left with this, and this is called my stem, or my root, and a little bit like a stem or a root, something grows from it, okay? So I'm going to pop some endings on here. So I'm going to repeat this 6 times, because remember, Italian verbs, you've always got 6 parts to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my conditional endings. So for I would speak, parlerei. It's an E and an I. For you would speak, parleresti. Parleresti italiano in Italia. You would speak Italian in Italy. And this one, parlerebbe. He or she would speak. Okay? For we would speak, parleremmo. And be careful here, because it's actually a double M. In the future tense, it's 1 M, but in the conditional, it's 2. Parlereste, you plural would speak. And then for they would speak, it's quite a tricky end in this one. Parlerebbero, they would speak. Okay? So remember, an ARE verb, such as parlare. What I've done, okay, is I've changed that A to an E. Then I've taken off the second E. So I'm left with my root, and then I add my endings. So that's your first group of verbs, ARE verbs, okay? I'll just get my board rubber, aka carta igienica. Very lucky to have this as a board rubber, given the circumstances. Okay, remember the clip, you can pause it any time to copy stuff down. I suppose that is the advantage of teaching via YouTube. Okay, your second group of verbs in Italian are ERE verbs. So this one, credere, okay? Now, credere is the infinitive. It means to believe, okay? And this has already got an E there, so I don't need to change anything around at this point. All I am going to do is remove my final E. And then again, I'm going to repeat this 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I'll squeeze one in there. Because, as you know, Italian verbs always have got 6 parts to them. And the endings for ERE verbs, the conditional endings, are exactly the same as the ones that we add onto ARE verbs. So here we go. So, crederei, I would believe. Crederesti, you would believe. Crederebbe, he or she would believe. Crederemmo, don't forget it's a double M, we would believe. Credereste, you plural would believe. And then finally, I love the sound of this, crederebbero, they would believe, okay? So that's how your ERE group of verbs work. Right, your final group of verbs, we've looked at ARE, we've looked at ERE. The final group are IRE verbs. So watch what I'm going to do now. Remember, you can pause the clip at any time to copy stuff down, okay? Right, so I'm going to put an IRE verb, and the one I'm going to choose is finire, okay, to finish. Okay, now this time I don't need to go changing this to an E or anything like that. I just need to remove the final E, and then I'm going to repeat it 6 times again. And I think you can predict what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to add my conditional endings. So, finirei, I would finish. Finiresti, you would finish. Finirebbe, he or she would finish. Finiremmo, we would finish. Finireste, you plural, would finish. And it's just a bit wonky there, but I'll try my very best.